So we're going to talk about a couple of issues that have been found in Hell Let Loose lately. The first one we're going to talk about came to me from a Discord user called Captain Kirk. So thank you, Captain Kirk, for sending me the videos you did. And it's Suppression. And if you don't know, Suppression in Hell Let Loose is different to how it used to be. I don't know when Suppression changed. I can't remember reading anything about it in the last year or so about any suppression changes, so it could be a bug. But first, a word from today's sponsor. Gamers of England, your city needs you. It's time to join me in World of Warships. If you don't know, World of Warships is the ultimate free-to-play naval action game that features nearly 600 warships and more than 30 million registered users. The dastardly destroyer able to launch torpedoes, so many torpedoes. The courageous cruiser, able to put out a decent amount of damage. The big boy battleships, aircraft carriers with their minions, and the sneaky submarines. Many countries are represented in the game, such as the United Kingdom, America, Germany, Italy, Spain, and more. But there's really only one choice here: the best navy in the world, the United Kingdom. And these ships have been handcrafted using historical documents and actual blueprints. Now, I've been playing World of Warships recently, and I will be doing a deeper dive on the game, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to join me in conquering the seas, then sign up today, download the game on PC, and use the code VICTORY23 to get 2 million credits to improve your ships, 7 days premium account for a running start, 200 doubloons to customize your ships, and a tier 3 ship of your choice. I gotta say, I do like how it's not a hit scan game. You need to actually aim ahead of moving targets, so it's a game that definitely rewards player skill. But if you lack skill like me, then just ram. Join me at World of Warships today. Click the link in the description to sign up and use the code VICTORY23 for some bonuses. Now, after Captain Kirk sent me these videos, I did my own tests, and let's just show you these videos now and what the issue with suppression is. And in these clips, I'm going to zoom in on the sights of the weapon, and that's really what you need to keep your eye on. So when you're getting suppressed, and I did these tests with various German weaponry, and I did tests with a grenade and a machine gun from a tank, and a tank cannon as well. And what you can see with suppression is that it doesn't affect your aim at all, or like very slightly. And yeah, like I said, I don't know when this changed, but it absolutely has. What I'm going to show you for you now is a small clip from Das Outberg's video he made 2 years ago. Das Outberg, a big name in the Hell Let Loose community, especially the competitive side, does a lot of competitive commentary. Our links down in the description below. Hopefully I fucking remember to. But from his video, which he made, talking about the anti-suppression feature that Hell Let Loose has, where when you stand near like a squad leader and a medic within a certain radius, it reduces the actual suppression effect. What you can see in his video is the actual aim moving around when you're getting suppressed. But now it doesn't. And a lot of people probably don't even realize that this has changed. I didn't until it was pointed out to me by Captain Kirk. And it probably does explain how sometimes when you're getting suppressed, you can just quickly stand up, ADS, and take out like the machine gun that's suppressing you easily because your aim isn't being affected at all. It's just a screen shape. And I think that it needs to change. It should change back to how it was. I want to know what you guys think about that as well. I hope I've got this wrong and that it wasn't just a bug that's come into the game, like an unexpected change, and that it was changed at some point. I just cannot remember reading anything about it, because it would be a big change to be talked about, like really lessening the effect of suppression, when suppression in really any sort of realistic slash tactical slash hardcore shooter is important, especially with machine gunners, because one of their primary uses is to suppress enemy infantry. Yes, they can absolutely mow down and wreck people, but they're really effective, and one of their main uses is, yeah, just to suppress people, to keep them like pinned down. They should make it so machine guns are really effective at suppressing people, whether that's, you know, an actual MG42 being used by someone, or a machine gun on a tank, or when we get mounted machine guns as well, still make other small arms like SMGs and rifles able to suppress people, but make them a lot less effective. We know that the weapons in Hell Let Loose are pretty much grouped by like a weapon class, where SMGs, they do all the exact same amount of damage at certain ranges. So just put on one sort of standard suppression feature on that weapon to make it quite weaker compared to machine guns, and do the same with rifles, and then do the same with automatic weapons, and look at explosives, because from the clips I showed earlier, explosives like grenades don't cause any suppression. Yes, I was behind cover, but the grenade blew up in front of me. I know that if I was behind cover and someone dropped a grenade on the other side of that cover, I'd be like hunkering down, like, holy shit, a grenade just went off. I'm not going to be like, yeah, it's fine, mate, whatever. The next issue I want to talk about is something that I came across in a video created by Twin City Shredder, and I'll put his links in the description below as well. And it's to do with the British weapons. Now, his video goes over some extra things that I won't be covering, so check out his video because he gives his own brutal, honest opinions about the game, and it's, well, worth a watch, really. And when the British weapons first released, I think everyone could tell there was just something off with them. And yes, there were issues with the zeroing on some of them, especially the Sten. I think the Sten still isn't quite fixed. The sights were really big, and yeah, improvements have been made, but there's still something just a bit off with them. And Twin City Shredder just really shows what the issue still is, and it's such like a simple, almost like it's shocking as well because of how simple it is. And I'm going to show you these images to compare what the issue still is with some of them. So first off, we're going to take a look at the Sten gun, and if I put this little overlay on top and I zoom into the aperture of the sight, you can see that the aperture, the hole in the rear sight, is not centered. It's just slightly off. Now, this was more noticeable in Twin City Shredder's video, and this is an image from his video, and I zoomed it in, and you can see that it is off center a little bit. This is from the PTE. I couldn't test it on the PTE because when I got around to making this video, the PTE was already closed. And I just hope that this issue, while the image you're seeing it is just an image, I'm hoping that maybe it was just taken at the wrong time, because the weapon does sway a little bit as you're just ADSing, and I'm hoping that also that if this is a PTE issue, that it's fixed before it goes into the live environment. When you ADS, you should be looking straight down the barrel of the gun, not at a weird angle. Now, you may accidentally look down at a different angle when you're really using the weapon. I don't know, I don't have any weapons, but when you're playing a first person shooter or a game, it should be created to be consistent with every single weapon in the game. It should be looking straight down the barrel, not off to the side a bit. Hopefully this is just a quick simple fix that devs can put in. Also, another thing with a Sten, and this one's a bit more obvious, but it's bloody big, right? It looks huge compared to other SMGs. It's pretty much like the SMG is too close to your face. I think really if you was holding the SMG this close, the stock of the weapon would be like through you instead of pushing against your chest or shoulder bit. I think it sits in between wherever you put the butt plate of the stock. I just can't quite remember. They need to move the Sten just away from the screen just a bit so it's more consistent with the other weapons in the game. Now onto the Lewis gun. I didn't really play the machine gunner role, so I never really used the Lewis at all. I just don't like playing machine gunners. I want to be quite mobile when I play the game. I don't want to be set up with a bipod somewhere. But with the overlay on, you can see that the iron sights aren't centered to the center of the screen at all. Let's fix that, make it more consistent with the rest of the game. Now the Lee Enfield number 4 Mark 1. Again, we zoom into the aperture of the rear sight, if that's the right way to say it. And you can see, again, it sits off to the right just a little bit. Let's get that fixed. And the jungle carbine, I mean, it's a bit obvious here. The jungle carbine looks too big. Let's push that away from the camera a little bit. And the same with the P14. Let's just move it away from the camera. Another issue with the P14, and it's pretty obvious, but if you look at the front sight, you could say it's too high, but it's not. The front sight is centered with the center of the screen. I think the rear sight, the aperture bit, needs to be moved up a little bit. Like the whole angle of the weapon needs to change. I don't know if how it is in game is historically accurate, but I think for consistency with the rest of the other rifles in the game and to make the P14 a little bit better, just change that angle so it looks like the front part of the sight is in the middle of the rear aperture. Another thing that's been discussed around Hell Let Loose lately on PC is the use of Nvidia filters. Now, I've used Nvidia filters in the past to create this Band of Brothers video. That video was created using settings from another user. I can't quite remember the name. Sorry about that. But with Nvidia filters, you can do a lot of like weird and interesting stuff to really change how the game looks. But you can also use it to give yourself a major advantage, increase sharpening, greatly increase like color or brightness, do loads of stuff to the game to really change how it looks. Now, this isn't something that just comes with Hell Let Loose and comes with integration into Nvidia. I'm pretty sure the devs need to opt in to using Nvidia filters, and I really want to know what you guys think about the use of Nvidia filters. Should they be disabled, or should people be able to use them? They are a straight up advantage if used with certain settings. And people could class this as cheating because you are using a piece of third-party software to gain an advantage, but it's officially supported software because the devs opt in to using it. So in this case, in my opinion, it's not cheating. It's just really trying to play in like a super optimized way to get every single piece of advantage you can against anyone else you're playing. And I know a lot of competitive players will use this in competitive games. They'll use this in non-competitive games. So that's why it could feel like someone's cheating when they're not. They're just using these filters to really give themselves a big advantage. And I think because of that, they should remove filters so everyone's at least on an even playing field as possible. Now on PC, you cannot do that. You can't make sure everyone's on the same level, playing on the same stuff, because people have different PCs. Someone who spent a lot more money on their PC will be able to play on higher settings and a higher frame rate against someone who can't play on good settings and has a lower frame rate. Yeah, the person who's got the higher frame rate is going to have a better time playing and be in a better position to play and have a better advantage. But there's nothing really you can do about that. And you shouldn't do anything about that. I mean, imagine force locking a frame rate into a game. That's just mental. But let me know what you think about the filters and everything else we discussed today down in the comments below. A big thank you to my members and patrons for helping to support the channel. And if you liked the video, give it a like, dislike if you didn't, subscribe for more, and thank you for watching.